Closing arguments are underway on day 5 of the quadruple murder trial of Amy Vilardi in Anderson County, where she and her husband stand accused of killing 4 family members inside a double-wide trailer in 2015. Kindly subscribe and follow our page as we continue. In the quiet hills of Pendleton, South Carolina, a family home held a terrible secret for nearly 8 years. On a November day in 2015, one woman made a frantic call to 911. Inside a double-wide trailer on Refuge Road, she said she had found 4 loved ones dead. What really happened that Halloween night would take years to uncover, and shake a community to its core. This is the story of the Vilardi family murders. Amy Vilardi lived on the same rural property as her mother, Kathy Scott, and stepfather, Mike Scott. The older couple shared their home with 2 elderly women, Kathy's mother, Violet Taylor, who was 82, and Mike's mother, Barbara Scott, who was 80. They were a close-knit family living simple lives in Anderson County. Amy had recently married Ross Vilardi. The newlyweds stayed in a smaller trailer just yards away. From the outside, everything seemed ordinary. But money troubles were building in the background. Bills were late, and accounts ran low. No one outside the family knew how deep those problems went. Then came Halloween 2015. The 4 older family members were last seen alive around that time. On November 2nd, Amy went to check on them. She called emergency services after discovering the scene. Investigators arrived to find no signs of forced entry and no struggle. The victims had been killed inside their own home. The coroner believed the deaths happened on or near October 31st. At first, the case baffled police. Amy spoke publicly, saying her family did not deserve such a fate. She and Ross claimed they had been away in Colombia and had not seen the victims for days. Tips came in slowly. The investigation stretched on without arrests. For 8 long years, the murders remained unsolved, leaving friends and relatives searching for answers. Then, in 2023, a breakthrough. New evidence and renewed attention, including from the television show Cold Justice, led detectives to focus on Amy and Ross. They were arrested and each charged with 4 counts of murder. Prosecutors pointed to a financial motive. Shortly after the deaths, large amounts of cash appeared to help pay off debts. Witness statements and other details painted a troubling picture. Amy and Ross would face separate trials. Amy's trial began in February 2026 in Anderson County. Over 5 days, the courtroom heard testimony about the timeline, the money trail, and statements from those close to the case. On the final day, both sides gave their closing arguments. The prosecution laid out how the evidence pointed to planning and gain. The defense stressed the lack of direct physical links like fingerprints or DNA at the scene. After less than 2 hours of deliberation, the jury reached a verdict. They found Amy Vilardi guilty on all 4 counts of murder. The judge sentenced her to 4 consecutive life sentences, 1 for each victim. Family members sat in court, some in tears of relief after more than a decade of waiting. Amy has since filed an appeal. Ross Vilardi's trial is still ahead. A family that once lived side by side on a quiet country road was torn apart. What drives someone to turn against their own blood remains hard to fully understand. Justice came slowly, but it came. Yet questions linger, especially for the next chapter still to unfold. In small towns like Pendleton, some losses leave a silence that never fully fades. Thanks for watching. If this case stayed with you, leave a comment below. What do you think justice looks like here? Subscribe for more stories that seek the truth behind the headlines. Take care.